oddly enough, it's odd that I can't hear everybody else.
It is for sure. Well, you won't have to deal with the chat. I'll be
That's
throwing
cool.
you questions.
It's
Look,
just
look,
weird. I'm trying to pull up your channel because it's weird not looking at you and talking to you. And
unfortunately, yeah, it takes over my webcam. I can't use it.
no worries.
Winning tournament director wants to know what it feels like to be such a baller.
I don't know. It's apparently he's done pretty well in Vegas. So I would put the question right back at him.
Is he gonna be your new sugar daddy?
Uh, he's more the catcher. So
Well, I know one question I got asked through the week. So you asked me to bring up some questions.
sure.
Um, is people asked like, what are you guys doing about bots? Obviously, that's like everyone wants to know that.
Well,
That's fine.
it's so catch 22, right? If I get into it's uh, I guess I can say I'm taking bots seriously, right? Probably more seriously than any other network. Uh, it's maybe aside from stars, maybe not. I don't know exactly what they're doing. That being said, if I get too deep into it, then I'm really not taking it too seriously. It's give me a month or so. It's to be fair. You look up the online bots that are out there, the ones that are just for sale for 29.95 or whatever, and they work for darn near all the networks. It just seems like it's with one post, all of a sudden we are the target, and the unconfirmed post.
Yeah. So they said your mic was too quiet there. I turned you up. If you guys didn't hear, Phil, he says that he's doing more than any site except for maybe PokerStars at the moment. Give him a month. They are seriously working on it. Was that was more or less your
But
answer, right?
but like I said, yeah. If I say, hey, we're doing X, Y, and Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's I guess I'll put it this way. Um, my my sadistic personality. I'm gonna make it very very clear that other networks are gonna be much more bot friendly than ours.
Okay.
That's it's give me 30 days.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the other thing is like people need to realize that you can't just tell them the methods you're gonna use to like fight bots because then the bots will know like what to fight against. Like Stars isn't gonna give you guys out that info.
No,
It'd be illogical.
it's even if they it's even if stars did say, hey, look, this is how we're detecting bots, right? Like you and I talked a while back, and they were talking about you were talking about bots has had a captcha for years, and then they still catch big bot rings. It's a constant fight, right? It's you can't
It is a
every
constant
time
fight.
it's 3 bet 4 bet you with it just happens if
If it wasn't a constant fight, like hackers would no longer exist because everyone's always coming up with measures to fight them, and then they come out with countermeasures, and it's just an ever never ending war. But
right. uh, but and then to be completely fair, you know uh, uh, there's no site out there anywhere that can say yes, we're 100% bot free. No shot, right? Because it's the second they say they're 100% bot free, now they've challenged every developer in the world to not be bot free.
I mean, they're also setting themselves up for failure if there is a bot, and then it's like a huge.
Well, I mean, it's failure, not failure. It's when you should like it's kind of like saying, you know, we're undedosable.
Hmm.
Well, we're not, right? It's and if you were to say that and you challenge somebody, the next thing you know, you're being DDoSed. So you do what you can, right? And you try to keep things you keep things fair, and it's the only thing I can say is I think I've come up with the single biggest deterrent for anybody who wants to even think about doing bots. Now, I will say this much to the poker community, and I'll go on. You can quote me on this. I will make mistakes, and I
Quote them.
will ban real money people, and I will ban real people because they seem like bots. and I will be merciless about it because it's to do this right. You've got to draw a line in the sand. So if you end up being a casualty of war, or what do you want to call it? Collateral damage. I apologize, but this is what the people want.
So I have a question here from DJ999. Rake might not be a topic you want to talk about, but I'll ask you anyways. He asked if you'll adjust the rake at the micro set the game to be more in line with the rest of the stakes. Specifically, he's talking about the lowering the rake cap.
Lowering the rake
Rake cap means like the max rake on a game.
Oh, I'd be much more inclined to raise the rake at the higher stakes, so to make it more in line.
Okay. Well, there's that answer. Someone asked, "Are you working to get Javaro on ACR, which is that new fangled HUD?"
Yeah, I've talked to a Javaro. I believe that's on Development Queue's product backlog, and I think we just did a few things, sent them something, and working with them. Yeah, good guys. It's met him at one of the conferences, and we've been working to do something with them.
What do you I'm actually not even seeing that many questions. Maybe I'm missing some. What do you think? I know you guys recently started the project ACR Stormers. Since we're on Twitch, we should talk about that.
Sure.
What do you see the future for that being? If you guys don't know, ACR Stormers is basically sponsored by ACR, like a Twitch team where they, give support through, tweeting, other kinds of stuff.
Hmm. So it's my our thought process on this was is you can either spend a whole crap load of money, right, and buy big names, right, or it's you can go start working with the little guys, right, and luck box into the big names, right. It's as they end up showing up. It's you look at guys like CG Ryder. It's what was his name? I'm sure you guys, the card runners guy. It's a
Hmm.
lot of these guys, started out, really really low stakes, and kind of looking for a shot. So we look for some people with some talent, look for some people with some personality, and and start taking some small shots for big wins. It's like in the sports betting industry, it's like it's betting a toothpick to win the lumber yard.
Chris DeBorg asks, who's another streamer, are there any plans on updating the tournament schedule in the future after the OBS S Cubed series?
Oh, absolutely, right? Because the OSS cubed is either going to go really well or it's going to suck a lot, right? And we'll adjust accordingly.
Okay.
You'll, you'll see that the tournament schedule is being adjusted much more often, right? We're working much more in an agile format, right? And reviewing, adjusting much quicker. So we can adjust the tournament schedule with our growth or shrinkage. So it's actually really good for the players, because if we pick up a big boost, right? We don't sit with the old tournament schedule for a month or 6 weeks. Well, it'll go bigger, faster, much faster.
Another question is possible timeline on progressive KOs. MTTs, that would be.
That's actually been one of the thorns in my side, right? I did a little bit of research on stars, right?
Hmm.
And it represents like 2% of their tournaments, right? Total buy-ins. And as cool as it is, I mean, in my opinion doesn't really matter much. It's kind of like what draws people, and it doesn't really draw that many people.
Uh, Next is asked, someone whispered to me, ask him about like features being added, software improvements like bet slider, table themes, lobby appearance, all that kind of stuff.
I'll tell you what. Let's call it end of August, right? And every month thereafter, the rest of the industry is going to go, "What the hell is going on?" I invested a lot of money into development,
Hmm.
and that's actually one of the reasons that I've been super quiet. You haven't seen me on Twitch. You haven't seen me, doing a whole heck of a lot. Turns out, when I'm spending a ton of time working, I don't have the 5 or 6 hours, once a week, twice a week, whatever, once every 2 weeks even, to get on Twitch. Um, it's we'll be crushing it.
Another question is when any updates on the phone app? When is it going to be available?
That goes right in there with it. It's talk to me September 1st.
I'm probably missing some questions in here, but I'm
It's okay.
trying to. Well, someone asked about bounty builders, but I think you just pretty much went over that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's I don't want to so I don't want to release the whole development schedule right this second, because there's a few things that can be some semi-significant setbacks, because we're doing a few things that other people aren't doing, right? That being said, is assuming that we're able to solve those fairly quickly, right? It's you're gonna everybody, like I said, it's not just players, right? It's players are semi easy to please compared to the industry as a whole.
mhm.
The industry as a whole is, and I mean, you've seen some of the stuff that we've been looking at.
I I get a question here that I think I can answer. Ice in my veins asks, what about adding a PayPal deposit method? That just won't work because PayPal hates gambling, and that would get GG'd so fast. Um,
Well, it's the thing is it's not that we won't take PayPal, right? It's that if we did some like end around to take PayPal, it's they would start taking people's money and banning people and doing all kind of awful stuff. And where I definitely am a little more liberal for us to take risks. I'm definitely not. I mean, maybe I'm even too nitty about taking risks with players' monies, but um, I hate getting on Twitch and saying, "I'm sorry, I don't have your money."
yeah. Another question is, are there any plans changing the Rakeback Elite Benefits program anytime soon?
Define soon, right? I see PokerStars has a pretty darn good break model, right? It's getting rid of all the benefits, raising the rake, makes a lot of money. No, I'm not changing anything. It's when we built things in. So it's when I got started doing this, we were definitely not the sexiest poker site in the world. We were definitely not the go-to place. It's everybody was going to Merge or Bovada or Stars or wherever. But I had to build
No
a
necesito como 5 minutos. Sorry, I was talking with the wife real quick.
wow. I thought that like the devil was speaking for a second there. Scary. It's anyway. I had to build a business model that when we're 10 times the size that we are, that I have to be happy where we're at. So no, I'm not changing anything. Right? I'm happy with the way things are, because we make money and save money in other places.
All right, I'm gonna ask two questions at once. When when are you getting your own version of Zoom? Someone asked, and has your Muck cards not showing up been talked about?
Oh yeah, we've talked about the Muck cards.
See, like I'm
So
actually of the opinion that I'm fine without having people see Muck cards. It's just I don't know.
yeah, well, see, it's one of those really funny things, right? It's I'm trying to think. It'll come to me. Uh, here we go. Like double or nothings.
Hmm.
So it's there was all the complaints about double or nothings, all the complaints about double or nothings, and I went back and forth and went back and forth, and I finally made the decision. Look, it's if Stars can't manage it, right, and they're going to get rid of it, it's what makes me think I can. It's I'm not a $5 billion company, so I get rid of it. And oddly enough, I get just as many emails and just as many complaints that I've got rid of it and that I don't have it, as to when I did have it. So flip a coin, right? It's I either spend time making Muck cards and get just as many complaints as I used to, or I don't do the Muck cards and I work on to something that actually adds value for everybody.
I have a question here from RealZ44. I know there's a stream team, but how about ACR pros? Maybe with bounties on them for majors.
Yeah, it's we did it's, I guess the best bounty that we ever did was on King Joffrey,
I remember that.
right? It's and the fact is, the real problem is if I were to go out and get some big name, And I put a $50, $100 bounty, $200 bounty, whatever, $1,000 bounty on that person. The reality is that it costs the company 10 or 15 times that much in the background, 20 times that much, and it's the risk reward is not there. So it's I guess take a look at so everybody is more than welcome to make all the suggestions, because it's I do hear some really really good suggestions from time to time, right? As far as marketing or this or that or whatever. But I definitely spend a lot of time thinking about where I'm going to spend the money, and how I'm going to get the most value out of it. And then you think about the places that every you think about everybody else in the world, right? There's nobody else moving up the ladder, like zero, absolutely no one else moving up the ladder, because nobody's thinking about this stuff, and we're definitely doing some things that no one else is doing, right? We're not going down just the let's blowtorch everybody's money and worry about paying everybody 5 years down the road.
By the way, guys, it's going to be impossible for me to get to every question. Um, Someone asked, why should I choose ACR over other sites?
Because we're cool. Was
Fair enough.
Okay. Oh, it's why should you choose ACR? It's I mean, I can flip the question about it's one of my, and you've heard me say it before, Zach. It's I may not be the handsomest guy in the bar when I go pick up chick in a bar. I may not be the handsomest guy in the bar. May not be the wealthiest guy in the bar, but I'm the only one talking to you, right? It's the fact is what are your options? What are your alternatives, right? And how can you possibly think that they're any better, right? That being said, is we are setting ourselves up to compete with the non-U.S. market, and even when you look at the non-U.S. market, there's like n- nobody that gets it.
Are you there? You might just cut out.
Take look at what they're doing. Oh, there's the little circle that keeps moving, and I
Yeah, you
think
just cut out for a second, but you're back now.
okay. Okay. So it's look at the other poker sites, look at the promos, and so you look at like OSS cubed, right? It's tell me a poker site tell me a poker site in their marketing department that knows what a three bet is.
I mean, it's sad but true.
Right. It's that's what I'm saying is poker is and since since Amaya bought Poker Stars, and Full Tilt went out. There's nobody that gets poker, right?
Oh,
It's and
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm saying I'm your only option. I'm saying your best shot, which is winning by default sucks, but it's still winning.
Yeah. Um, Someone writes, Mr. Nagy, you should consider adding everyday grinders as confidential informants because, for the most part, us regular grinders can spot patterns such as just botting, and in all realness, you can take our suggestions into investigations. I mean, bots don't chat, so if you see something as being fishy, you can try to chat them up and you can figure it out. I would actually first say that bots can chat nowadays. That is a misnomer. And not only that, a lot of bots are just like in someone's room and they can get on and chat whenever, just to seem like human like while their bot runs. So, but go ahead and answer the rest of that.
Yeah. The fact is, I do talk to a lot of regs, right? Um,
I mean, full
I've got,
disclosure,
I've
like
got,
I've talked to Phil like a few times about sitting goes and suggestions and all the kind
yeah.
of stuff.
It's the fact is I've got it's a lot of guys on my Skype, and I reach out to them and I say, hey, what do you think about this? Like it's I've talked to them about the grimming. I've got the it's the bots, the tournament schedules, the blind structures, the late registration, all of these things. I kick around. I don't sit here in like a little box by myself and try to think of stuff. Uh, I get people's opinions. I'm sorry that you're not that guy, right? Not saying that you can't be at some point, right? But I can only kick it around with so many people.
I guess because I answered you two quiet questions at a time. Someone's saying you didn't answer the question about when you guys are getting Zoom.
It's I did that on purpose.
Okay.
Bye bye.
See, that's the thing though. People need to realize, like, if he overpromises, people just get mad. Like,
For sure, for
giving
sure.
you guys a
So it's
deadline.
like so like it's look at the impossible spot that I get put in. So we've been working on this whole bot thing for like a month, 6 weeks, right? So that pushes like everything off for a month or 6 weeks. And then on the other hand, I've got everybody saying, "Well, where's this? You said this was going to happen." It's you can't please all the people all the time unless you're Donald Trump. Seems that he can please all the people all the time.
I don't know about that, but
Well, okay, he can do something to all the people all the time.
uh, Christenborg asks, other non-poker star sites have been recruiting streamers, making deals with them to play on their site for extra exposure. Does ACR have any plans to do something like this? I think you like partially answered that question already, but
Yeah, well, it's like I said, we've got our team, and the fact is I really like the idea. Okay, big picture, it's you take somebody who is a semi big name. I don't really want to say any names because then I'm pointing people out. But okay, you take somebody like Zach, who is a semi big name, and I put a bunch of money behind it and a bunch of promotion about it. And the fact is it's not that story that makes poker great again. Now you take this guy that is a penny stakes or a small stakes tournament guy, and he gets a shot on twitching, and he's making a few $100 a week or whatever it happens to be, and then he actually becomes the next WCG writer or the next. I've mentioned him twice. Wow, what that was amazing. I apologize. Let me mention somebody else. He mentioned the next big name. He becomes the next Negreanu or the next it's the next Phil. Insert last name. Then that's a big win that actually starts to bring poker back or make poker big again.
any chance ACR will improve their customer service? They humped me when I was trying to make a deposit.
Wow. So it's I guess it's
I mean, I know it's a never-ending struggle.
no, but it's really things like that just completely blow me away. It's so we operate in the gray market, right? It's there's gonna be we're not ever gonna be iTunes. It's never gonna be just click and you've got money in your account. It's just not gonna happen. Um, that being said, please, when you think about these things, compare apples to apples. Contact Bovada's support, contact Merge's support, contact PokerStar support. Oh wait, you can't. We still go out of our way to have live chat and phone calls, right? And what more? What more do you want?
I mean, I was a 4-time Supernova Elite, and I didn't even have a phone number I could call into. I had to get to 10 million VVPs lifetime to get one of those.
Right.
Or 5 million.
Like again, it's you're comparing things like it's let's say Amazon has like the greatest customer service of all time, and I'm sure like a whole bunch of people say, oh, Amazon service sucks, but it's just for example because everybody knows the name. Let's say they have the greatest customer service in the world. Well, they're not dealing with the stuff that we're dealing with, right? And you look at competitors. Our competitors don't deal with the things that we deal with because they're hard, right? Like it's nobody has an 800 number on their website. Nobody has live chat that you can talk to somebody right now, right? Because it's really difficult to this Vikek. Can you just temporarily ban him, right? Because he's like a retard.
I don't even see I don't even see that person right now because I'm like way behind on chat that I'm like scrolling down, like trying not to miss too many questions.
He says, but I can use my Visa card on Bovada all the time. Okay, go to Bovada.
So there you go. There's the CEO's answer. Go to Bovada if you don't like it. But someone asked, can we please have 2 to 7 triple draw Badoogie, Raz, and 8 game? Like personally, I like mixed games, so I'm actually kind of curious.
You're actually like the 5th person that's ever asked me that. So no.
I actually hear a lot of people asking me that, like say they would like ACR to have mixed games. because like Merge got rid of a lot of them, I think. And
Well, so let's. I mean, you can go ahead and open up stars, right? Let's go ahead and compare the head count in mixed games to the head count in Hold'em or Omaha, right?
oh, it's for sure worse. It's
And
for sure
and
like
and again, it's like I said, is uh, uh so I look at the highest value and what's going to make the largest segment of the population happy. That's going to be a mobile app, right? Which if you guys if the audience had to choose between 8 game, a mobile app, Rush slash Zoom poker, and I don't know. Uh, it's what was the one that we talked about earlier? Progressive knockouts, right? Is there any way 8 game and progressive knockouts don't make the end of the list?
so basically what you're saying is it's all time versus
Right,
reward, which makes sense, of course.
right.
Do you want to? I know you said you only wanted to be on for 30 minutes, and we've been on for 25. You say you're really
Yeah.
tired. I'm gonna miss a
Wow.
ton of questions. People are gonna be angry at me. Whatever. Do you want to give us a Punta Cana plug real quick?
Punta Cana Poker Classic. So it's I'm just looking
Oh,
at
by the way, just cut Phil off real quick because I can cut
sure,
off the
go ahead.
ACR CEO. He will be there. Phil will be there, and he
For
talks to
sure.
everybody. So if you want more of his ear, like, go annoy the
It,
hell out of him there. Ruin his vacation.
as a matter of fact, it's I've got in the dunk tank there before, right?
I,
It's I'm not saying that so because I see as it's I see people say as a CEO he's terrible and this and that, and you're probably right. I'm absolutely the worst. It's I would like to point out the fact that the only reason I'm the worst is because I'm actually talking to you, right? And it's none of the other ones would be dumb enough to actually talk to all the players, right? It's for me, it's who I am, right? And Zach will vouch for me. It's I'm the guy who goes and gets on the phone with the customer, sits with customer service, and talks with the players, right? So I do have to be a little more real than most guys, right? Um, which a lot of people I don't know, feel comfortable with in a CEO. I don't know, right? Um,
I mean, it's just. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. It's really, in my opinion, really good. But also, like when you say X and X and X is happening, and it doesn't happen. It sets yourself up to get extra criticized as well.
it's the fact is we also work in like so if I was a furniture store, right? And it's my big objectives were to move this couch over there, right? I'll give you a timeline. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. There's just so many unknowns, right? That you just can't see them happening. So see around these corners, right? It's for example, it's stars couldn't see Black Friday coming, right? It's how many people blamed stars for Black Friday coming. Should have saw that one. That writing was on the wall there, right? So it's we do live in we work in an industry that is constantly changing. I'd say I just saw bitch better have my money. It's the one thing that I make sure that stays consistent is it's bitch better always have my money. I always send the money. We may have the bugs, we may not be the prettiest, we may have bugs in the Mac client, which I'll go on record as saying that I shouldn't actually have ever launched because I wasn't anyway. I hate the Mac client. Uh, but you're always going to get your money, right? Even when it's delayed a little because of whatever, you're always going to get your money. Is anything else important? Does anything else really matter? Right? If you have to say, okay, I'm going to have the best software in the world, I'm going to have the best this in the world, I'm going to have best that in the world, but there's a much higher percentage chance that I'm not going to get my money, right? Which one are you going to take?
I'm getting my money.
There you go, right? It's all you have to do is look at us 2 years ago and where we were at 2 years ago, and know that we're moving in increments that we're always going to have your money.
So before I let you go, because obviously there's a lot of missed questions. If you guys don't know, Phil gets on Twitch himself, and I talked to you the other day, and you said it was time for you to get back on Twitch. Do you have a specific date in mind where you might go live and answer more questions for people that I might have missed today?
So it's I mean, as you can see, like right now I went, oh god, I gotta get on Twitch. Why? I want to kill myself. Right? it's 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 to be, I'm not an actor. Does it show? I'm not that personality. It's I definitely have to be in the mood, right? um uh, uh it's for me, it's one of those things
Drink
where,
more.
yeah, well, it's I'll tell you what, it's that would make it way easier. It's but I will say it's if my team puts a small package together regularly, in case I walk in and say, you know what, I'm going to Twitch for a few hours today, right? I kind of look at my schedule, I kind of see how I feel, and I got to have some topics that uh, that I want to talk about. Um, it's I will say, I will leak. I actually did take a couple of hours the other day, and because I feel pretty strongly about this whole Donald Trump thing. I'll go on record, and it's I'll probably piss off more people
It's
than
probably not worth you going on record on this one.
it probably isn't. It probably isn't. But I'll tell you what, some of the things this guy says, it's and you call me, you say I'm a bad CEO. It's so I am releasing
Phil just went and broke our rule of not talking politics in this channel. Thanks, Phil.
well, I'm gonna do a top 10 Donald Trump, right? It's why he couldn't be me, right? It should be pretty funny. It should be pretty funny.
Yeah.
So,
Is there any, like, if you guys haven't noticed, I haven't been taking more questions because I'm not trying to.
I will defend myself on the other end, right? Being married to a Latin American woman, living in a Latin American if I didn't hate Donald Trump, I'd never get anything ever again.
I hear you there.
There you go.
I'm married to a Costa Rican as well.
There you go. It's you can't like him. It's not openly anyway. It's I actually don't vote. I saw a question. I don't vote for anybody because I live in Costa Rica. I haven't been back to the States in, I don't know, like 10 years. Obvious reasons.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to go over before I let you go?
Go ACR. It's look, you guys. It's poker players theoretically are intelligent people and think through problems, right? Just look at the track record. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Look at the track record of the options that you have and the options that you don't have, right? And just look at what it's what poker company is aligned with your best interests at any point. For me, it's us. We're the only ones looking like that.
Fair enough. Was there anything in particular though, like anything new you want to release, or are you just?
Well, I mean, OSS cubed is pretty damn big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mobile, yeah, it's I don't really. We've got some really good. Here's one I'll release. Sometime in the near future, we're gonna have a device manager, like you have on Apple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just for security for players, because poker players are generally. I don't want to say lazy or sloppy, but the real life is, they call their buddy, hey, can you log in and transfer my buddy this money into my account or whatever, and then next thing you know, that it's the guy that you asked to transfer the money is playing on your account. It becomes my fault, right?
I mean, I even had that happen back in the day.
Well, and I didn't know that.
No, not on ACR. Back on Stars, like in 2006.
Right, but that's what I'm saying so we'll be adding a device manager, so you'll be able to pick, okay, these are the 3 devices I can log in from, and just like with Google, when you log in to your email address with a new account, right, we'll send you an email, say, hey, you logged in with a new device, right, and then we'll get stricter from there, right? So it's for your security. It's a ton of work on my part, but it's making sure your money's safe. The same reason I make sure I can send everybody their money is my first priority, because I think that is the one single point of failure. I can really not be the best at everything else, as long as I make sure I send everybody their money, I'll continue to be in business.
So I haven't really been able to fault check because I was gonna let you go, but if there was any channel like you were watching the chat, if there was any questions you want to nitpick and answer real quick, but
Huh.
other than that, I can let you get going.
Yeah, I've got the family down there. I'm look. Uh,
Go to Punta Cana, you'll see him there. You can ask some
I'll
questions
tell you
there.
what. I will say, right. First of all, uh, uh, Punta Cana, best event ever, right? Here's a good release for Punta Cana. The final event, right? I'm gonna release a new tournament of my own on my own device. We're gonna do a secret knockout.
Hmm.
Go ahead, ask me. What's a secret knockout?
What's a secret knockout, Phil?
I'm glad you asked, Zach. It's when late registrations close, we'll take let's say I think the buy-in is like 300, right? So we'll take I think it's $50 is the knockout or $70 is the knockout.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take it's what the knockout is, and we're putting together a percentage of what the different knockouts are going to be, right? So it's let's say it's you knock somebody out. Sometimes some people will get $5, some people will get $700 for that knockout, right? And it's I don't know, maybe I'll walk around with a big bag of poker chips, ranging from $5 to $1,000. And when you knock somebody out, you'll pick out one of those chips, and that's cash for you. Fun,
Yeah, it could be real fun. You don't know what you're
right?
gonna get.
Right? Yeah, it's when you get $5.
RNG live.
Yeah, RNG live. And yes, I will bring somebody in to audit that RNG.
Well, that was one question earlier. If you audited your
Sack of
RNG,
chips. Yeah.
but I forgot to ask that one. But
I think it's on the homepage of the website. It shows who audited our RNG and when they did, right?
and we do have the winning tournament director in the chat right now. You can direct some questions to him too. Like a lot of this stuff, they can ask Dan. I don't know if you really do like
I don't know
having
if I
Dan answer
said it, but,
questions or talking at all for that matter.
congratulations to winning TD for like a sick run in the WSOP, right? Not the main event, but it's down to the Venetian and stuff. He did really well.
Shipped one.
It does show that anybody can do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down and spend the precious few moments with my family. I appreciate you guys listening to me and having having me on.
I think 99% of people appreciate you coming on, and 1% still hate you. Like
That's
I don't
fine.
think anyone who came in this chat hating you now no longer hates you, but
No. And to be fair, right? I don't actually do this to make any friends. Right?
no, I would not have guessed.
I don't even try to. I don't. Besides the OSS cubed, I don't think I mentioned any promos or anything at ACR because that's not If you want to know all the promos, go to the website. If you want to know what's going on and have a real talk with and you know what and know the how do I want to say the personality of the company that you're dealing with, right? This is what you got.
Well, you're actually getting a lot of thanks in chat.
A lot of what?
Thanks in chat. And someone actually said that you won them over.
Oh well, whoever sent me lips with Phil, I'm a fan.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you what. I will reserve the right. It is definitely nice talking with somebody else on Twitch. I will reserve the right to just sporadically jump on your Twitch and maybe even a lot of the guys that we were talking about our Twitch team. When I feel the mood and I don't want to do 4 or 5 hours, I'll just jump on with them, send out a message to players, and they can ask some questions.
Anytime.
I didn't. If I dodged any questions, it wasn't intentionally, right?
Oh, don't worry. I'll be the one taking the hate for that soon.
At least publicly, it wasn't intentionally. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna go spend a little time with the family.
All right, thanks again, Phil.
Enjoy and make sure you have a good time with the OSS cubed because it's.
If you guys don't know, there's 4 on the leaderboard. There's 4 Punta Cana patches given out free for that.
Right.
That's the one promotion with that.
Yeah. We're giving 4 free Punta Cana promotions, and do take a look. If you ever go and play any live poker, or you go to vacations with your family, Punta Cana is absolutely like, I mean, it's just the nuts.
I agree.
I can't tell you that enough. You'd be able. Sorry. Wow, I got a pretzel stuck in my throat. Um,
That's what she said.
yeah, yeah. It's. I could never make it. Anyway, Punta Cana is great, and go. That's where I'm gonna leave it. All right, I'll hit you guys up a little later. I'll talk to you a little later, Zach.
All right, thanks, Phil.
I'm gonna go choke now. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
you do that. All right, guys, that was the